Hello everyone, I'm Sidhvita, a member of Krino Forensics. Welcoming you all to another video. Before starting, let me ask you something. In criminal case, how reliable is human memory? Can we always trust what a witness says or what a suspect confesses? Because in reality, evidence is not just physical, it is also psychological. So in today's video, we are going to understand the psychology of evidence. We explore how human behavior, memory, and perception influence different types of evidence used in criminal justice system. So to understand this topic clearly, let us first look at the key areas we will be covering under this topic. We will be begin with eyewitness testimony, then moving to confession evidence, followed by criminal profiling, false memory, confessions and interrogations, expert testimony, and finally the role of psychology in courtroom proceedings. Each of these areas show how deeply psychology is connected to forensic science. So, starting with one of the most commonly used forms of evidence, eyewitness testimony. Eyewitness testimony plays a very important role in criminal justice system. However, it is highly prone to psychological distortions. Research has shown that human memory is not photographic. It is reconstructive in nature. This means people do not recall events exactly as they happen. They reconstruct them based on perception, emotions, and expectations. Factors like confirmation bias can cause witness to fill gaps with assumptions. Emotional stress can create vivid memories but not necessarily accurate ones. For example, in situations involving weapons, attention is often focused on threat, which reduces the ability to remember other details like the face of the offender. So, while witness testimony is powerful, its reliability must be always carefully evaluated. This brings us to an important distinction with eyewitness evidence. In eyewitness testimony, variables are broadly classified into two types. Estimator variables are factors that cannot be controlled, such as lighting conditions, stress levels, and duration of observation. These directly affect the accuracy of memory. On the other hand, system variables are those that cannot be controlled by legal system, such as the way questions are asked or how lineups are conducted. Research has shown that leading questions can significantly alter memory. Interestingly, a witness confidence may increase over time, but this does not necessarily mean their accuracy improves. Understanding these variables helps us evaluate eyewitness evidence more critically. And this leads to an important forensic implication. From a forensic perspective, psychological insights plays a crucial role in preventing wrongful convictions. Expert testimony helps courts understand the limitations of human memory. It ensures that judgments are not based solely on confident but inaccurate eyewitness accounts. In the Indian context, integrating psychological understanding strengthens the justice system by promoting scientific and ethical evaluation of evidence. Moving from witness accounts, let us now examine another powerful form of evidence, confession evidence. Confession evidence is often considered one of the strongest form of evidence in court. However, from a psychological perspective, it is highly vulnerable to error. False confessions can occur due to pressure, coercion, or psychological manipulation. These confessions are generally classified into three types. First, voluntary false confessions, which occur without external pressure. Next, complaint confessions, which occur when a person admits guilt to escape stress or interrogation. And next, we have internalized confessions, which occur when individuals actually begin to believe they committed the crime. So, even confessions which seem very convincing must be carefully analyzed. This naturally leads us to the psychological factors behind such confessions. Certain individuals are more vulnerable during interrogations. Factors like stress, isolation, age, and mental health can affect decision making. Techniques such as prolonged questioning or presenting false evidence can create confusion and compliance. This may lead individuals to confess even when they are innocent. To prevent such situations, several safeguards are necessary. Recording interrogations, ensuring legal representation, and avoiding leading questions are some important measures. These safeguards help maintain fairness and reduce the risk of false confessions. Now, beyond confession, psychology also helps in understanding offenders themselves. Criminal profiling. Criminal profiling is a technique used to infer the characteristics of an offender based on the crime scene behavior. It is based on psychological theories such as behavioral patterns and personality traits. Profilers analyze aspects like modus operandi, victim selection, and crime scene details. The idea is that behavior reflects underlying personality. For example, organized offenders tend to plan crimes carefully, while disorganized offenders act impulsively. However, profiling is not always accurate. It must be used along with physical evidence. So, while it provides useful insights, it cannot replace scientific investigation. Another important psychological concept that affects evidence is memory distortion. False memory refers to recalling events that never actually occurred or remembering them inaccurately. This happens because memory is not a perfect recording. It is influenced by suggestion, imagination, and external information. For example, leading questions can introduce new details into a person's memory. Over time, individuals may start believing these false details are real. This has serious implications in both eyewitness testimony and confessions. It can lead to wrongful identifications and even false admissions of guilt. Understanding false memory is therefore essential in evaluating psychological evidence. This connects directly to how interrogations are conducted. Next, we have confessions and interrogations. Interrogations are critical stage in criminal investigations. However, the technique used can significantly influence outcomes. The rate technique, for example, uses confrontation and psychological pressure. While it may lead to confessions, it also increases the risk of false confessions. In contrast, the peace model focuses on communication and rapport building. Psychologically, suspects under stress may experience confusion and self doubt. This can result in compliance or even internalization of guilt. Therefore, ethical interrogation practices are essential for ensuring justice. Now, once evidence is presented, it must be explained in court. The expert testimony. Expert testimony plays a crucial role in bridging psychology and law. Forensic psychologists help courts to understand complex concepts like memory errors, false confessions, and behavioral patterns. They assess whether an individual is mentally fit to stand trial. They also evaluate criminal responsibility and mental state at the time of offense. The testimony helps judges and juries to make informed decisions. So, psychological expertise ensure that evidence is interpreted correctly. This finally brings us to role of psychology with the courtroom itself. Psychology plays a significant role in courtroom proceedings. It helps in understanding the mental state of accused, especially in the cases involved insanity defenses. Legal provisions consider whether a person was capable of understanding their actions at the time of crime or not. Forensic psychologists use various assessment tools and clinical evaluations to provide insights. They also help to distinguish between genuine mental illness and false claims. Their role ensures that justice is both fair and scientifically informed. So, overall, psychology becomes an integral part of the legal decision making process. So, to conclude, the psychology of evidence highlights that not all evidence is purely objective. Human memory, perception, and behavior plays a major role in shaping evidence. Eyewitness testimony, confessions, and even courtroom decisions are influenced by psychological factors. Understanding these aspects helps to prevent errors and ensure a more accurate justice system. So, as a student of forensic science, it is essential to critically evaluate both physical and psychological evidence. Thank you for watching. I hope this session helped you to clearly understand the psychology of evidence. If you have any doubt or want us to explain any forensic topics, please comment below so we will cover them in future forensic videos. The presentation document will be shared on our social media channels. You can access it directly from there. Stay tuned to Krino Forensics to explore the world of forensic science. Thank you.